Maido! Hi there, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to talk about two speakers who really missed the mark. Prezen o master shimashou. This is the 8th year of the Presentation Japan Series podcast. We're beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku in Tokyo. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaeigyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata mo Prezen no Tachijin. Plus, Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muru ni Suru wa Yamimashou, and all are available on Amazon. Through this podcast, I want to help you become a better speaker to be 1, clear, 2, confident, 3, persuasive, 4, highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan series. And every second Tuesday, the Business Tachijin no Oshie show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 382, and today we are talking about double trouble speakers in Tokyo. What a double act they were. Two economists giving us some insights into where the markets are going and making sense of the world we face. Anytime you see an event, there's going to be some crystal ball gazing going on about where we are headed in the global economy. You want to be there. We are all more risk averse than greedy, and we want to cocoon ourselves from trouble by getting some early warning of what to expect. This was a Chamber of Commerce event, so I knew a lot of the attendees and did my best to exchange business cards with those I didn't already know. In the process of doing so, I gained a very clear idea of who is in the room, what industry sectors they are in, and the relative size of their companies. Neither of the double act speakers did that. They migrated straight to the VIP table and sat there waiting to go on. They were there to present, and that was it in their minds. For speakers, that is a basic error. In many cases these days, the event hosts won't share the details of who is attending. We should always get there early and try to meet as many of the members of the audience as we can. This does a couple of things. It connects us with complete strangers and creates a level of rapport with the listeners, which translates into support for us as the presenter. It also enables us to gauge who is in the room, how senior they are, how big their operation is, and how long they've been in Japan. This is important because we can adjust the level we set for the presentation to make sure we're not speaking down to anyone or over their heads. Our speakers didn't bother to analyze their audience before they launched forth with their canned presentation. I say canned because it was obvious they had been traveling around APAC giving this same presentation to various audiences. The first speaker was comfortable as a public speaker and had given many talks in his role as an economist. He did a couple of things I found annoying as someone in my role who instructs people on how to present. He was good in many ways, but certainly not perfect. One thing I don't recommend is wandering around the stage as you talk. He did this, and really, the movement had no relevance to the talk. There should be some theory behind the movement rather than just sashaying around the stage to show you are a seasoned speaker. There are 3 distances we can use. If we want to make a macro point, we can move to the back of the venue away from the crowd. If we want to make a micro point, we can come very close to members of the audience and deliver our comments at very close quarters. We shouldn't stay in either position for too long, and we should then move to a middle, more neutral position. Find out more. We come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public courses, but we also do custom in-house programs. We do them in Japanese, we do them in English, we do them in our super safe classroom, and we do them live online. Our show today is being brought to you by, on the 9th of May, we'll have our 3-day Dale Carnegie course. On the 5th of June, we'll do the same Dale Carnegie course, but this time the 12-week version. Go to our website, dale-carnegie.co.jp. That's Dale, D-A-L-E Carnegie, CARNEGIE.co.jp. Lots and lots of value there for you. To do better in Japan, email me at greg.story, that's greg.story, S-T-O-R-Y, at dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have over 2,300 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, every Monday Tokyo time. Fridays we have the Japan Business Mastery Show, and on Saturdays we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from SMEs right up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Now, every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. Get my best-selling books on business in Japan. The Bible on Selling, Japan Sales Mastery, that's Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, which is Anatomo Present no Tachijin in translation, plus Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Budni Suno wa Yamimashou. And all are available on Amazon. Welcome back. When we move around, we create a distraction from our message. If we move, then move with purpose and use those 3 distances I noted to our advantage. Otherwise, we anchor ourselves and use our neck to swivel around to make eye contact with members of the audience. As he was wandering around, he was looking in the general direction of his audience and successfully making no specific eye contact with anyone. That is a big opportunity lost to connect one-on-one with members of our audience. There was one more problem with his talk. The flair of public speaking was on display, but the content was rather, so what? I keep up to date with the media, and probably so did everyone else in that audience, so there were no, oh wow moments. I felt cheated that I'd waste my time and money listening to someone who didn't deliver any value to my investment in attending the talk. His colleague had the same wanderlust, although a little more restrained. He was also someone who did these types of talks on a regular basis, so he was plainly comfortable be standing up in front of a crowd and talking. The problem became obvious almost immediately when he started putting up his slides. They were very difficult to understand. For whatever reason, there were lots of acronyms in use and abbreviations. This made passing the content on screen extremely difficult. His method of explaining it all was also complicated to a simple punter like me. People I spoke to afterwards said they were also struggling to follow where he was going. This was an unforced error on his part. He didn't research his audience to understand at what level he needed to pitch the talk. It was way over the heads of this audience, and he probably still has no idea of that because he wasn't engaging his listeners. When you single people out for 6 seconds of eye contact and you work the room using this technique, you can see in their eyes if they are following you or not, and you can adjust. He was blind to the take-up of the talk because he wasn't using any eye contact. As a double act, they were duds for different reasons, and they hurt their personal and professional brands. It didn't have to be like that, and with some minor adjustments, they could have done a much better job. We should take their faults to heart and make sure we are not reproducing them ourselves. Did you get value from today's show? If you did, then share the love around with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Until the next episode, go out there and apply the learnings from today and become a presentations legend amongst your circle. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week. Remember, I'm in your corner, your go-to guy for soft skills training in Tokyo, committed to your success here in Nippon.